All right, so now let's talk about the laws of logarithm. If we know the laws, then that means that whenever we are given a problem, we can apply the laws to the problem and then we'll be able to solve it. All right, so let's start with the first one that I will call it the multiplication law, okay? The multiplication law. All right, so let's start from what we know to what we do not know. From our study of indices, we came to see something really important. For example, if you have 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 4, you would say that the answer is 2 to the power what? 3 plus 4, and then you can say 2 to the power 7, right? Now check this thing out. What is happening here? You have multiplication and then you used addition to simplify it, right? Okay, the same principle works in logarithm. So what happens is that, let's say you have log xy base a, okay? Now this becomes, you see, the x and the y are multiplying, and then we know that when they are multiplying, we add them up. Okay, we add them up. So you have log x to the base a plus log y to the base a. All right, so this is what happens. So when you're multiplying, you add them up. All right, so let's have a few examples. So for example, if we have log 3 times 6 base maybe 2, okay, this will become the first one, that is log 3 base 2, I'm sorry, not base a base 2 plus log 6 base 2, okay, because we know that from indices multiplication tends to addition, therefore the same principle works here, so you add them up. But what if, all right, you are given something like log, let me get an example, nice example here, log 5 base 2 plus log 3 base 2, and then your job is to write this as a single logarithm, okay? You want to put them together. Now you are going the opposite way. So that would be, you have log, so you see, check them out. This is actually adding. So if it is adding, you have to multiply. Therefore, you have log 5 times 3, okay, base 2. All right, and then that would give you log 15 base 2. So now this is what has happened. If they give it to us in this form, we can come this form. If they give it to us in that form, we can go back. And that's what we've been doing. So this case, they gave it to us this form, and they wanted us to write it as a single log. So they want us to put the two together, so we get it in this format. All right. So that is for the multiplication law. So let me highlight this as our multiplication law. All right. The next thing is for us to do our division law. So let's go and do the division law. So that is, let's call it division law. All right. Also recall from your study of indices that if you have 2, let me use 2 to the power 3 divided by 2 to the power 1, what would you write? You will say that this gives 2 to the power 3 minus 1, giving you 2 to the power 2, right? Okay, so check this thing out. Division becomes what? Subtraction. And it's the same thing that works in log. So we have, for example, let's say we have log x over y base a, that will become log x a minus log y a, you know, because the division sign over here now becomes a subtraction sign. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's have a go at an example. So for example, if we have they can ask you to write, okay, write log 3 base, let's have log 12, okay, log 12 base 3 minus log 2 base 3 as a single logarithm. All right, they can ask you to do this. Now you're going to apply this particular division rule that we've come to highlight. Okay, so let's apply it. All right, so now these are the two logs are subtracting, they are in the same base, so that means that we can apply the log very well. So that this log minus that log would be, so log 3, you factor the log out, so you get 12 divided by 2. Why? Because of this subtraction sign, so you have the division, okay? And then the base is what? Base 3. That will give us log 6 base 3, okay? So that is how to apply it. Now finally, let's talk about the other law that we call the power law. The power law. So this is what the power law states. If you have, say, log x to the power n, okay, base a, this could be written as, or you can say it is equivalent to n log x base a. Okay, so for example, log 3 square base 5 is equivalent to, always check this now, the power here just came down. That's the end of the story. So that's what you do. So you have 2 log 3 the base 5. Okay, so this is how to go about it. All right, then let's do one more time. Let's say log 10 to the power x base maybe 4. This will be equivalent to x log 10 base 4. Okay, so that's how to go about it. Now, there's one more law that doesn't really have a name, but it's really important that we keep it in mind. So let me just call it rule instead of, I don't know, the difference between law and rules, they're the same thing basically. But you need to keep this in mind. The log of a number to the base of the same number is always equal to 1. Keep it in mind. So, for example, log 3 base 3 is 1. Log even 1, 10,000 base 10,000 is 1. You can use your calculator to verify this. So this is really important. It's not really a law, but keep it in mind. So today we've seen how many things? 4 things. 1 is the multiplication law. We have also come to talk about the division law. We have come to talk about the power law. Okay, so this is what we call the power law. And finally, we are talking about this particular thing that you need to keep in mind. Now, I want to combine the power law, okay, this power law and the last rule here, and let's see what it gives us, okay? For example, if we have log a to the power x base a, the answer will be what? X log a, right? And we know a to the same base, that's 1, so your answer is x. All right, so if I give you log 10 to the power x, all right, base 10, basically the answer is x. Why? Well, for one thing, this will give us x log 10 base 10, and 10 base 10 is 1. Therefore, your answer is x. Finally, let me add one more. If we have log 3 base 6 to the log 3 to the power 6 base 3. This will become 6 log 3 base 3. 3 base 3 is 1, therefore your final answer is 6. So let's cement this claim. So the log of a number to a particular power to the same base is equal to x. This is something that you want to keep in mind. Alright, so let's color it. This is something you want to keep in mind. Now, the next video, I'm going to solve logarithmic equations with you. We are going to apply all these rules to the problems, okay? Bye for now.